Rise and shine, everybody. Let's get those lineups set for Fantasy Week 5. And welcome to the show. This is FFT Express. Adam and Heath here, wishing you a good morning and reminding you to join us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern for the first of our 2 live streams, and then again at noon Eastern at youtube.com/fantasyfootballtoday. Okay, it is a tough day with tight ends. Michael Mayer is out, so you can't even go that route. Brock Bowers is questionable, but looks like he is not going to play. That's what we're assuming right now. That's what everyone seems to be assuming. So they're at Indianapolis. Meanwhile, the Saints, Juwan Johnson is questionable, and both Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau are going to be activated today. So what do we do with tight end, Heath?
Well, I make another plan if you have Brock Bowers, and maybe make another plan if you have Juwan Johnson. If Juwan Johnson was 100% healthy, I would still have some concern about starting him with Taysom Hill, which the only report that I've seen is he is expected to have a role. I don't know how large the Taysom package is going to be, but it's back. And Foster Moreau generally has a couple of targets when he's active. So we are not ranking Brock Bowers right now, and I have dropped Juwan Johnson outside of my top 10, still have him at 12. Couple of guys who are widely available. Tommy Trimble's still only rostered in 7% of leagues, and he's ahead of both of those guys for me. So I'd like to go see if he's available. Brenton Strange, 61% rostered. Another guy that I would start over both of them. I think when you get to the group of, and I have all these guys very, very close: Harold Fannin, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, who is also questionable. Like, I wouldn't argue with starting any of those guys over Juwan Johnson, but still have Johnson ahead of them right now.
I was even going to say a guy like Dalton Schultz, who has gotten 5.8 to 8 PPR fantasy points every week. I know, but you could just turn to someone that's going to score something. I'd probably stick with Juwan Johnson over him.
I've got concerns about Hunter Henry. He's been terrible against Buffalo, but I'd start Hunter Henry over all these guys. And with Jaden Daniels back, I would start Zach Ertz over all these guys.
Yeah. I think they're going to throw more with Jaden Daniels. Didn't throw much with Mariota. Daniels, his 2 games, he had more pass attempts than Mariota did. Obviously, Deebo Samuel is out. Deebo Samuel's in. Terry McLaurin is out. Excuse me. Deebo Samuel is playing today. Apologies for that. You're fine to start Deebo Samuel. He should be very good. But that's your tight end news. And the other thing is that when Taysom Hill plays, that could be bad for Alvin Kamara. Did you download Alvin Kamara?
I did not download him. I downgraded him just a little bit. But
I can't do these shows when the Hurricanes have a night game. It's just,
I went to bed at halftime, but congratulations. It was pretty obvious how that one was going. I think Kamara and Tony Pollard were the 2 downgrades over the weekend for me. Kamara still stays kind of at the start of the cesspool, not quite into that RB 21 through 29 range. Pollard was right in the middle of it and has kind of sunk to the bottom. So Pollard behind Ramondre Stevenson, behind Michael Carter for me. Kamara still ahead of those guys.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I feel like Tajay Spears, that's probably the other big headline today. Tajay Spears is being activated, so that's why we're downgrading. I mean, I'm going to look at my team that has both Juwan Johnson and Tony Pollard right now and try to get away from both of them. Juwan Johnson's a flex for me in that league. Pollard, I'm going to sit him for Rico Dowdle. Easy call.
Yep.
And then Juwan Johnson, I'd probably have to sit for RJ Harvey, and I don't know if I'll do that. That'll be a game time decision for me, but that's kind of where I'm at with those guys. So Pollard, you said behind Michael, so obviously behind Rico Dowdle. You said behind Michael Carter too?
Yes, he is my RB 28 right now. So the 5 guys just ahead of him: David Montgomery, Woody Marks, Michael Carter, RJ Harvey, Ramondre Stevenson.
And what do you think about the Arizona running backs? Because we have Jonathan Gannon say they're all going to play.
Yep.
And Jeremy Fowler of ESPN saying they're going to ride the hot hand. And we shouldn't maybe overlook Zonovan Knight. So right. I want to find out your thoughts on the Cardinals running back situation after this quick break on FFT Express, and then we'll answer some questions. We'll be right back. Okay, back to your thoughts on Arizona's running backs.
I don't think that probably Jonathan Gannon knows exactly how many touches each of these guys are going to get because it's going to depend on efficiency. I'm concerned that if Carter averages 2.7 yards per carry, like he did in week 18 last year, that we will see some Bam Knight and some Amari DiMercado, and it's going to be a complete disaster. There's also the possibility, though, that if Carter comes out and is effective on that first drive, he might have 20 touches in this game. So he's right at the borderline of an RB2 and a flex for me. I think very similar profile to both Woody Marks and RJ Harvey, who you could see having enormous days and who you wouldn't really be that surprised if they had 10 carries for 35 yards and didn't score very many fantasy points. So they're RB 25, 26, 24, 25, and 26 for me. I would definitely start Montgomery, Dobbins. I'm still starting Jordan Mason over those guys. I'm still starting Chase Brown over those guys. I'm still starting Ken Walker over those guys.
Okay. So just a few other news items before we answer your question. Let's see. Alec Pierce is out for the Colts, but Adonai Mitchell may not play. Mitchell does well, gets a lot of work with the absence of Pierce, but he fumbled the ball going into the end zone. They haven't committed him playing.
What I saw this morning, I believe, was that he is going to play, but he's going to have a limited package.
Okay. So that's a shame. He's a talented player. There are two teams that are going to be without 3 offensive linemen. One is Minnesota. We've been operating the whole week, knowing that. And the other one is Dallas. We pretty much knew that, except their offensive tackle, Tyler Guyton, is not expected to play, I believe. So that would be 3 starters for them. I think they played without 2 starters and did just fine last week against the Packers. Any downgrade of Cowboys players against the Jets?
Small downgrade this morning because that line did move from Dallas being a 2.5-point favorite to a 1.5-point favorite, and their team total came down a little bit. But nothing really changes. Jake Ferguson's must start. Javonte Williams is must start, just like we all expected at the beginning of the year. George Pickens is must start. And I view Dak as kind of a borderline number 1 quarterback. I would start Bryce Young as a streamer and Tua as a streamer over Dak. And I think I'm a little bit lower on him than some, but he's right in that range.
Okay. And Tyler Guyton is officially out with a concussion. Okay. Let's read some questions here. Dak or Dart?
Dak for me.
Genty or Rashad White?
I would. What?
I was going to say the absence of Bowers could definitely be a boost for Genty. I mean, they got to throw to someone, but go ahead.
I do have Rashad White ahead of Genty for the time. Yeah.
Okay. Warren or Ferguson at tight end?
Man, go make a trade. I would start Jake Ferguson.
RJ Harvey or Michael Carter?
Everybody's just going through my rankings now and giving 2 names that are back-to-back in the rankings. That's lots of fun, guys. I would start Harvey, but it's very close.
Start 1, drop 1. Chubb, DiMercado.
I would start Chubb.
I dropped Nick Chubb for Dowdle this week, and no one's picked him up.
Right.
At least you said you'd start Chubb.
I'd start Chubb over DiMercado.
Yeah, so you'd have to drop DiMercado. Okay. You might be giving yourself a chance at a good running back with DiMercado. I don't know that Chubb's ever going to really do much for your team. But all right. ETN or Dowdle?
That's going to be ETN for me.
Javonte Williams or Deebo Samuel? Tough one.
That's another good. You got a good roster there. It's a nice brag, and I would start Javonte.
Michael Carter, Travion Henderson, or Darius Slayton?
That could have also been Jamison Williams, and if it was, I would start Deebo over Jamison Williams.
Yeah. All right. So it goes Javonte, Deebo, Jamison. Good call.
Yes.
Michael Carter, Travion Henderson, Darius Slayton.
That'll be Carter for me.
That's Carter versus, I think definitely over Travion. Carter versus Slayton. Not that I love Slayton so much, but do you feel like with Carter, you have a chance of getting like 2 fantasy points? Something horrible.
I feel like that with Darius Slayton in a game where if the Giants are competitive, they might throw 15 passes.
Competitive. Saints have to be competitive here because we're winning.
Oh, the Saints are favored. So
well, that's wrong.
Another thing is, I tweeted this out earlier this week. Like, I've heard a lot of people talking about the fact that Darius Slayton, I think, averaged 79 yards per game in the 2 games that Malik Neighbors missed last year. But Darius Slayton also played like 75 football games without Malik Neighbors before last year.
This don't matter. All right. Justin Herbert or Justin Fields? We'll finish with that.
Man, I have to make this decision, and I am going Herbert, but they're both top 4 quarterbacks for me.
All right. Yeah, I'd go Fields. Tough call. I'd go Fields. So let's end it there. If you have more questions, join us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern at youtube.com/fantasyfootball today. And then again, noon Eastern, youtube.com/fantasyfootball today. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you soon.